Welcome into the Commanders Report. I am your host, Jack Sperry. And let me just say, wherever you are watching, thank you for tuning in to talk some Commanders football with us. Here today, on today's show, we're going to be breaking down the first day of OTAs. Very exciting time if to be a Washington Commander fan. And then, of course, there's a quarterback in camp right now that is apparently making noise. I'll let you know which quarterback that is in just a second. And then I'm going to be revealing what Bleacher Report thinks is Ron Rivera's secret weapon on defense this season. Pretty juicy stuff there. And then finally, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. We provide Commanders fans with free videos on your Commanders every single week. We've tried to put out at least 4 or 5 for you each and every week here up on the channel. So to get notified of when those videos go out, click that subscribe button and turn your notifications to all. Really do appreciate all of the support. Now let's get into some key missing players from today's OTAs. Now there are some players that, there's some trade rumors going around with them. They want a new contract, and they just didn't show up for the early part of OTAs. Those players are Montez Sweat, Chase Young. Those two are not so much a surprise because, of course, the Chase Young thing, they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. Montez Sweat is going to be a free agent come next offseason, but Charles Leno Jr., the left tackle, wasn't there today either, signaling that the Commanders could be potentially looking for a left tackle, maybe a Taylor Lewan or something like that. It's apparent that Charles isn't exactly super happy with the Commanders right now, but we don't exactly know why. So this isn't a great start for the Commanders. I mean, 3 starters for you, especially in the trenches, not showing up to the early part of OTAs. And, these things are not required, so it's not the end of the world. It's not like they're going to be holding out or anything like that, but it is nice, especially when your head coach is about to be coaching for his coaching life next year. Of course, if they don't make the playoffs, I think he's gone. It's nice to have your key players in the locker room during OTAs to set the tone for the younger guys, really establish themselves as the leadership presence in that locker room from the word go. And now you don't have Chase Young, you don't have Montez Sweat, and you don't have Charles Leno Jr., and that's disappointing. So I want to shift now to a quarterback that has been making some noise in rookie minicamp and now in OTAs, and that's quarterback Tim DeMorat. Undrafted free agent out of Fordham. So he's an FCS quarterback here, but he's got some nice size. Really do like his size. I think he's like 6'2". Yeah, he's 6'4", 220 pounds. He's got a strong arm. And what I really like on this guy's film is that he throws with great touch. Like when you see the deep balls on his film, he's got some nice arc on that. He drops it right into a bucket. And apparently that's exactly what he's been showing both in rookie minicamp and in the early part of OTAs. And right now he is somebody that some people are speculating could be that emergency quarterback for the Washington Commanders heading into 2023. Of course, the NFL at the annual league meeting this week, they're allowing emergency quarterbacks once again now, and Tim DeMorat is somebody that could be in consideration for that role. Of course, Jake Fromm is the presumptive favorite to be that emergency quarterback, but DeMorat is somebody that's a talented young man who really didn't play against high-level competition in college, but he's got good size, he's got good arm strength, he's got a great deep ball, and he can throw with touch, which is not something you see every single day. And, you got Sam Howell and you got Jacoby Brissett, and those two are going to be duking it out for the starting position. I expect Sam Howell to be the starting quarterback in week 1 at least, and then it's going to be between Jake Fromm and Tim DeMorat for that emergency quarterback spot. I think DeMorat has a pretty darn good shot at winning that emergency quarterback role given the way that he has played so far in camp. So who would you rather have as that emergency quarterback? Let me know in the comment section right now by typing TD if you want Tim DeMorat, or if you want Jake Fromm, give me a JF in the comments. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever you get an ad break here, do me a favor, take advantage of that time by answering today's question with a TD or a JF. All right, so now is Phidarian Mathis Rivera's secret weapon? Bleacher Report, at least Alex Ballantyne from Bleacher Report, seems to think that the second-round player from last year in the 2022 NFL Draft, who was, of course, hurt for pretty much the entirety of last season, could be in for a breakout season here in 2023. This is what Ballantyne had to say. Like Allen and Payne, Mathis spent his collegiate career at Alabama, where he showcased his ability to push the pocket and be a disruptor on the inside. He had 9 sacks and 10.5 tackles for loss in his final year with the Tide. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see what he could do in his rookie season. He tore his meniscus in the season opener and ended up missing the rest of the year. while it's easy to forget about Mathis because of his rookie year, he has a good shot to make an immediate impact in year 2. And I agree with this. Phidarian Mathis was a second-round pick for a reason. He can be a disruptor from the interior of the offensive line. 6'4", 312 pounds. I really think that he's somebody that's going to be a great rotational piece in between Jonathan Allen and Duron Payne. When those guys need a break, opposing offenses aren't going to be able to get a break with Phidarian Mathis on the field. Hopefully, he can turn into one of the best rotational interior pass rushers in the National Football League. You look at that starting unit, completely compiled of first-round talents there with Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, and of course, Montez Sweat. All of those guys are fantastic, fantastic talents. And having a guy in a rotational role like Mathis, somebody that went in the second round, is definitely super, super valuable. And at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a top 5 pass rush in 2023. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Type Y if you think the Commanders are going to have a top 5 pass rush next season. And if you don't, you think they're going to be a little bit worse, go ahead and type N for no. So personally, I expect big things from Duron Payne in 2023. So we talk about Phidarian Mathis being supposedly the secret weapon for Ron Rivera next year. I think Duron Payne is getting ready to have an absolutely berserk season. I think that he's somebody that hasn't even reached his full potential yet, which is something that's absolutely crazy because last year, 64 tackles, 18 tackles for loss, and 12 sacks, double-digit sacks from an interior pass rusher. And I still think this guy has a little bit left in the tank. And man, if he can just raise these numbers by just a little bit, you see that PFF grade is at a 67.3. Okay, if that gets up into like the 80 range, I think we're talking about a potential all-pro caliber player in the interior of the Commanders' defensive line. We know he's a great pass rusher. He's somebody that's going to be a very, very valuable piece, or at least you hope if you're the Washington Commanders, alongside guys like Montez Sweat and Chase Young and, of course, Jonathan Allen. He got paid this offseason. He got the bag. Now it's time to prove that you're worth it and go out there and put together an all-pro caliber season. I know that the talent is there, and I'm a big-time believer that Duron Payne is going to establish his presence and bring the pain in 2023. So will Duron Payne be an all-pro caliber player in 2023? Let me know in the comment section by typing 1 for yes or type 0 for no. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say about Duron Payne and his future. That's going to be it for today's show, guys. I will be back tomorrow with more Washington Commanders OTA coverage. Make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you know when tomorrow's video comes out.